Can you imagine having voodoo done on you just because you're kind?
I was hexed at 11 years old by a woman in the church.
To take effect on you.
How did you know that it was witchcraft?
I told her what to do, what she did. She did it, and it worked.
I'm manifesting all things good. Money coming to me, money running through me. Tuned into the frequency, the bass, keep it booming. Feeling superhuman, I ain't never losing. Money coming to me in abundance, keep it moving.
I was hexed at 11 years old by a woman in the church that was jealous of my mother. My father was a minister and my mother was very spiritual, and people did not believe that my mother and father should have been together because they believed my mother was a witch, which is ironic, right? My father had an appreciation, and the food that was prepared for everyone, I took one bite and I fell ill immediately to the point where I had to go lay in the backseat of my father's car. That moment led to me being paralyzed from the neck down and a 3-month hospital stay. I never received a formal diagnosis, and I was told from the doctor that I would never walk again. Like any loving parents, my mother and father were willing to try anything, and they were looking for answers, and that led them to Malidoma Some. At that point, we had given up on modern medicine, and we had began to fight a spiritual war that included spiritual baths and ritual. Within 30 days, I had taught myself how to walk again. And I'm not saying it like I'm just, no, by the grace of God. I regained strength in my limbs after being told that it would not happen and that I was sent home in a pink wheelchair, and they gave me a walker, and that was pretty much it. I made a full recovery. I moved on with my life, went back to school like nothing happened. But every so often, I think about that and how those same church folks would accuse me of being a witch and practicing witchcraft. But I was hexed by a woman in the church. Just, blows my mind a little bit. All right, this is part 2 of me being hexed at 11. I got my mom with me as my proof. This was the day that it happened. This is what I had on. This is my brother standing next to me, and we're in front of the building that my father's appreciation was at. So what was that like for you as far as because my mom did not come. Now, we just had this conversation, and I'm like, well, you didn't come because they were jealous of you. Like, she didn't come to this, whatever. So how did you process everything that was happening, and what did it look like from your perspective, like when I first came home that day, and from there?
Well, when you first came home, I just thought maybe it could have been food poisoning or anything like that. You just laid down and really appeared not to have any energy or anything like that. We had a rule in the house that if you were sick longer than 3 days, then you had to go to the doctor, find out what's going on. So after the 3rd day, you were still laying down on the couch. And so I told her, I said, well, we're going to have to do something. You're going to have to go to the doctor. So I tried to pick you up because you didn't have any energy.
And look how small I was, y'all.
And I don't even think if you were 100 pounds, I don't know. I think you wore a size 0 in pants. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't pick you up because you were dead weight. So I asked my niece to help me pick you up. And between the 2 of us adults, we couldn't pick you up. So I was like, well, I don't have any other choice but to call 911. So I had to call EMS. All sorts of tests, and they couldn't find anything, couldn't figure out why you stopped walking. I think you were in the hospital from September because school had just started. I'm not for sure. Did you go the first day of school?
I think so.
Maybe the first day of school, yeah, so that you knew your class and your teachers.
Yeah, because they came to visit me.
Right, and your walker,
Okay.
you refused to use it too.
Yeah, because I didn't want no walker. It had a
Okay.
picture of old people on it.
Okay,
So
you
how
wanna
did you
ask
come to
me?
the conclusion that, how did you get in contact with the African healers?
Because everybody in the community knew me, and they knew that you were sick, and I was requesting prayer, and Mama Amina got in contact with some healers. A lot of people got in contact with healers and preachers that, you know, prayed, and they said that some of the healers said that it was something spiritual, and that was something I put in the water. Let me see.
I know they're going to ask what it is, so.
It was something that they hired this man to make, to clean the water for the people.
But what I do remember, though, is every time I took a bath, I got a little bit better.
Yep, you did.
Every time I took a bath, I got a little bit stronger. And we kept doing it. They kept putting me in this bath, and I was getting better as time was going on.
And they would bring, the doctors would come, and it would be scratches all over your
I forgot about that.
stomach
Yes,
and your
my
back.
whole body would be scratched up. I would go to bed, I would go to sleep, and I would have the most crazy dreams. Oh my God, so vivid. And then I would wake up and it would look like somebody attacked me in my dreams. Like I would wake up with welts all over my face and all over my body.
And your back and your stomach.
Mind you, I'm not moving. Like I'm paralyzed, neck down, not moving none. And I would wake up with these welts all over me. It was crazy.
And then you would have lines. It was red lines under your eyes, like eye line in red. And they said that was one of the symptoms of lupus, and that's why they tested you for lupus. You didn't have lupus. Then they said it could have been, I believe it was the Lou Gehrig's disease, because you couldn't walk. And that didn't pan out. What else did we do? So the rotting is, it is these vials that the lady had. It has like different electromagnetic fields in it. And
Is this like Reiki?
It's something like Reiki, but it's a vial. They used to teach it in college. They just stopped doing it. So she was asking, well, she did it on the phone. Normally she'll, you know, it's like done in person with the vial. So I called her, and she said that she would try it. She not for sure how it would work. So me and Mama Hanifa, we were there, made the phone call, and she was doing the rotting procedure, and all of a sudden this lightning came from, shot through the window to the phone.
Lord,
and you could actually see it.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all, that's enough for today.
To take effect on you.
How did you know that it was witchcraft?
I told her what to do, what she did. She did it, and it worked. Salt and vinegar remove witchcraft.
So if it hadn't worked?
If it hadn't worked, well, it was a sprung ankle. They do that to anybody. Anybody will do you anything. They don't like you sometimes, they'll do you that. They'll harm you with that. With witchcraft. Make your mind go off, or you don't know what to do, or separate the husband to the wife, separate the wife to the husband. They get jealous.
And what's that good for?
Arthritis, witchcraft, anything. The doctor can't help you for that. A lot of people take sick with something, and they go to the doctor don't know what it is. He give you a shot, or he work on you, he treat you, but he don't know what it is. You still have the same thing. You got to go to a two-head person or a person can treat, can tell you what it is.
What's a two-head person?
Well, like me, think of more than one thing, you see. Can tell more than one thing. That's a two-head person. But I can't explain.
To hell. You keep playing with God and you leave this earth, you are going to hell. Listen, in all seriousness, my last video was meant to have a little fun, make a lighthearted joke out of a kind of depressing situation. I don't know what it's going to take for Black Americans specifically to recognize that this is a slave owner's religion. And I ain't trying to sound like a hotep or nothing, my sister. But the only reason why Christianity is popular with Black Americans is because that was the first book. The first, and for some of us, the only book that we ever were allowed to read, and would be the first book that we would learn to read to understand how to speak English. It is embedded in our culture because it's a part of the trauma of our ancestry. Now, I'm not here to try to convert you to be a witch because I really don't give a fuck. This is not about saving souls. This is not about recruiting people or getting people to believe what I believe. This is about my personal relationship with the source, with the divine, with God, whoever it is that you believe is up there pulling the switches. My practice is entirely my practice, and it is not my job to go and try to see if other people are doing what they need to do. That's kind of a Christian thing. But I will make fun of y'all because y'all be making the material. Y'all want to persecute us so bad, but if Jesus came back right now, you'd be calling him a witch too. All the miracles in the Bible and y'all ain't putting two and two together? Hello? If some of you were more like Christ, we wouldn't have such high medical bills. We wouldn't have such expensive grocery. I'm telling you, if somebody out there could get like Christ, go down to your local grocery store, get some filet mignon, some salmon, some bread, maybe some iced coffee, and be breaking it off and multiplying it in the parking lot, I swear to God, I will convert right now. Drop the spell, because that's what it is, and y'all ain't ready to hear that. You're not ready to hear that, because those works, those are just analogies, right? Those didn't really happen. And, you know, that's just a special one-off thing for Jesus, although he was a man and although you're supposed to be like him. But you're not meant to do those types of things. That's for the Son of God. Even though you're a child of God too. You see how your logic is just really collapsing in a lot of ways, and why people aren't taking you as seriously as they once did, and why now when we have access to so much information and knowledge, people are starting to peel back the layers and recognizing the true history of this baby religion. Because that's right. Y'all just got in the game. You're not even that old to be talking all that shit. Little baby religion out here trying to tell people what to do. Granted, you've done a great job of indoctrinating a lot of people, so kudos. But you see, we're minding our own business over here and you're all up in it. You see how you can't possibly be doing what you need to be doing if you're in my business? In our business? And I get it, it's hard to remove the indoctrination and heal from the religious trauma, but y'all be getting on this app absolutely trying to destroy and demonize any and everybody else who does not believe what you believe. But then you expect people to respect you and your beliefs and not push anything that they believe on you, which most people aren't. You just think that because they won't conform to your way of thinking. When the tables are turned, all of a sudden you don't understand free speech. All of a sudden you don't understand why we can't have difference of opinions. And if you could be friends with someone as a Christian who's Catholic, or you could be friends with somebody who's Jewish, or you could be friends with somebody who's Muslim, but you can't be friends with somebody who's a witch, that's just a different faith, is like your religion is not your personality. It's not a personality trait. It's a spiritual practice that's meant to help you get through the hard parts of your life and develop you as an individual. You're using that as a way to justify whether or not you should be kind to people. I'm sorry, you're actually a joke. And I will be dicing you up into comedy bits. Okay? That's just what it is every single motherfucking time.
Let's talk about witchcraft. I've spoken about this topic before, but I'm going to talk about it again because people love it. So first of all, what is witchcraft and why is it so demonized? So witchcraft within itself is manipulation of energy with intent. So it works similar to how prayers work, similar to how manifestations work. Everything is energy. Everyone is energy and we're all connected by it. If you understand the law of divine oneness, you understand that I'm connected to you and you're connected to everything that there is. And you can also argue that prayer and manifestations are different forms of witchcraft because what you're doing at the root cause is alchemizing your energy to achieve a certain result. People think that witchcraft is this really mysterious thing, but all you need for witchcraft to work is emotions that are charged with intention. Emotions or energy in motion charged with intention is all you need for any witchcraft to happen. This is also the same method used in prayer, but also in manifestations. For example, ever heard of the feeling is the secret to manifestation? So you have to feel the emotion charged with your intention for it to manifest? Yeah, same concept. Now I know you're probably thinking, I understand how that applies to manifestation, but how does that apply to prayer? Because surely I'm just talking to God. When you're praying to God or whoever you believe in, there is two things. There is the words you're saying, which is your intention, but then there is the second thing, which is the emotion, and I'll tell you where that comes from. The emotions that charge your intentions during prayer come from the conviction you have in whatever God you believe in. The feeling or the emotion of conviction you have in the name Jesus Christ is the emotion. So Christians believe that the name Jesus Christ holds so much power, authority, and conviction. So that is the emotion that you already have subconsciously when you're saying whatever intentions you're saying. God protect me, God give me this, God give me that. That's the words, that's the intention. But the extra juice that charges the intention is the conviction you have in the name Jesus Christ. The same way a Muslim can achieve the same feeling by believing that the name Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has power in it. And I know you're thinking that, Nusla, I understand what you're saying, but witches have tools. They have all these things that they use and it's evil. What is that? And yes, witches do have tools, but that's not where the magic happens. No pun intended. Like I said, at the core of everything is emotions charged with intention. Those tools simply represent different parts of their intention. It's one thing to have your intention charged with your emotion in your mind, and it's another thing to produce or to create a physical reality of it in front of you. What they have in front of them are just tools. Where the magic is happening is within them. Creating and producing a physicality of that which you know and believe to be true about yourself strengthens your manifestation or your prayer. So that's just what it is. It's similar to how Christians also have their own rituals that represent different things. Eating the blood of Jesus Christ is one thing. They're literally bringing the physicality of that which they believe to be true about themselves. Even things like rosaries, you can wear it around your neck. It holds your intention. It holds your energy. Muslims have this. It's called subha. They hold that. They connect with it. They have their intention in it. And I know you're thinking, but Nusula, witchcraft is evil. They do things like blood sacrifices. And the first thing that comes to my mind is Jesus was a blood sacrifice, if you actually think about it. But I know that's not what you mean. Some practitioners do things like offerings or sacrifices. It could be fruits, it could be animals, it could be a whole bunch of things. The offerings or the sacrifices stem from a very, very long time ago. Even in the Bible, where God rejected Cain's sacrifice and accepted Abel's sacrifice, those things. These are very ancient practices that have been carried on from generation to generation, and some witches still carry out stuff. Significance of offerings or sacrifices represent different things depending on the practitioner. It could represent things like strength, courage, submission, forgiveness, whatever the case is. Even tithing in church is just a different form of offering because you're planting a seed. They tell you, come at the front, plant a seed, give 10 pounds, give this, to plant a seed. Then people think, well, how about human sacrifices? Because I hear that's the thing. And a lot of those misconceptions stem from things like slavery and colonization. It wasn't until the slavery era where our ancestors started fighting the colonizer and proclaiming what was theirs. During this battle, our ancestors would consult with their deities or their gods at the time, consult with their ancestors for wisdom and knowledge on how they can proclaim what was theirs. And in the instances where they unalived one of the colonizers, they will be thankful to their ancestors. For example, the Haitian Revolution, the colonizer was so shook that they actually won the war through these practices that they had to demonize it. From then on, they had to teach the captured slaves and their generations that it was wrong to practice this because it involves human sacrifice. Really and truly, this was propaganda, and it was a way to demonize their practices so then they can remain powerless. I can honestly talk about this concept for a long time, but this is the basics of it. And witchcraft to me is not any different from prayer and manifestation. It's literally the same concept. One is demonized, the other one isn't, but it's the same energy at the core. Also, guys, off topic, but I want to tell you that I have created a course for every single one of you guys on their healing journey, on their spiritual journey, whether you've been on the journey or you're just starting. I have created it. It's in the link in my bio. It's called your self-healing course.
Can you imagine having voodoo done on you just because you're kind? There was this lady, and she was like the nicest person you could meet in the whole entire world. She would give you the jacket off of her back. One of her neighbors didn't like that, only because she was nice. Like, the fact that she was so nice bothered them so much that they wanted to harm her. And mind y'all, this story is coming from them, like the witch herself. She's no longer a witch. This was when she was younger. But she remembered hating that neighbor just because she was so nice. And she said she done tried about anything she can think of to take her out, but just couldn't. Like, she was so protected that she couldn't get near her to even try to do anything bad to her. And that pissed her off even more. This isn't a long story or anything, but that person basically told me that story to basically say that you can literally be doing nothing. You can be the nicest person in the world and somebody could hate you just because you're nice. Depending on how protected you are determines whether they'll probably succeed or not. But I just wanted to quickly come on here and say that it's not always you. Sometimes your light shines so bright that other people are going to want to dim it because they feel theirs being dimmed.
I believe this 100% because people are evil. Not everybody, but majority of people are very, very evil, okay? They might not go as far as doing that, but they definitely are evil, manipulative, sneaky, just for the heck of it. You know, it's like, oh, just do it just because I can get away with it or something, right? People are just evil. Not everybody, like I said, don't come for me, not everybody, because I have some great people in my life. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I know that, you know, I can come across someone that I think might be a great person and I trust them and all of that. And then this person turned out to not be so great. You see it all the time, you know. That is the reason why things are on the news 24/7. That's why I don't watch the news. But imagine her convenience to decide not to be a witch anymore. Why were you so angry? Why were you so angry to hate someone else simply for the fact that they're happy? What's wrong with that? Why were you so disturbed that this person was happy? Hell, you're a witch. Make it happen. Make yourself happy. You can do that. If you have the right information, it's possible to do that. So why did she have to go so far to do that to someone simply for existing? Imagine that. Imagine that. And then, oh, I no longer want to be a witch anymore. You did all that. So what if this girl did get attacked by what you were sending? You know what I mean? What if she did get attacked by that and it ended badly for her? Then were you going to just wake up one day and say, oh, I no longer want to do this anymore, but her blood is literally in your head? I mean, I don't understand why people just allow people to be who they are, you know? Allow people to just live their life. We literally have one life. We're here to coexist together and create, you know, together and just be that. Why can the person be happy or enjoy life the way that they want? They're not stopping you from being happy. So why do you have so much rage and anger because somebody else is happy? I see it in my daily life. I mean, one day I was at work and someone told me the same thing, like, there's no way you're always this happy. I mean, of course not. I'm not always this happy because I go through shit, because I have, you know, I'm living life, you know. I go through shit just like everybody else does. This seems like I'm taking it personal, but I'm not. But anyways, you know, when it comes to that, when they told me that at work, or when she told me that at work, I was shocked, you know, since I'm telling my story. Of course, it's kind of personal, but I'm like, wait, isn't it a good thing to have good energy at work? Especially, I'm like the face of the company, right? Don't mind my silliness. But I'm the face, because I sit at the desk. People see me first before anybody else. So you come, you walk, I sit at the unit desk, right? So any customers, family members that come, blah, blah, blah. That was my other job, like a long, long, long time ago. They see me first. So technically I'm the face of the, you know. but I already have a great personality, so I think that's why you picked me for the job, you know? But anyway, so they picked me for the job for that reason, I think, and plus I knew what I was doing, right? And I love to smile. What's wrong with smiling? I may wake up one day and I don't want to go to work, which is usually every day, but I go to work anyways, and I put on a nice smile, and before I know it, I feel great. Like, oh, I'm already here. Let's enjoy the day. I mean, I'm already here, you know, and I already made the commitment to go to work because I got bills to pay. So therefore, I'm going to make the best of it. So I smile. And even in my daily life, at home, doing whatever, I have a smile on my face because life is good. Life is great, you know. I might not be in the position where I want to be in life right now, but we're constantly thriving to be better. So, you know, there's always the next level that we want to get to. Life is a game. You have to get to the next level. You know, you have to keep working at it to get to the next level because nothing's going to really come to you for free. You know, yes, I do talk about, you know, dating a man who can provide and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, which is technically considered to be for free because they're coming to you for the provision, but in return, yourself is giving back. So you're not exchanging money because it's technically for free because you're not exchanging money, but you're exchanging energy, which is a lot more powerful. Your human energy is a lot more priceless in a way than money is. Money is an energy as well, and I will talk about that in one of my next videos that I'm making. But exchanging your energy with somebody else is priceless, you know, because no one has your energy. You're never going to find the next person that have your energy. You're never going to find it, you know. I think I'm going, you know, I'm taking another road because I feel like I just like lost where I was. But anyways, yeah. Oh, I'm back. So the person felt like I smiled too much, like I was faking it. I've been working there since literally maybe what, 6 years? How could you fake something for 6 years straight? I mean, some people are psychopaths can, but I don't know if I have time or the patient, or do I care enough to fake a personality for that long at our job? I really do not care enough. Just let me go to work and be myself and get this money and go home. Because half the time, like, I talk to my coworkers, they're here, I have to talk to them. I'm there with them for like 12 hours, you know? I gotta talk to them, but those are just my coworkers. They're not my best friends, they're just my coworkers. But it just makes the day that much easier and goes by that much quicker when I have a smile on my face, you know, because I'm representing the customer service of the company, basically. Because if the customer's not happy, the first person that they come in contact with is going to get the first initial. But if I have a smile on my face and you walk up to the desk and like you see my face, instantly your mood's going to change. So I use the different energy because, you know how they say you have the 5 senses? Now, I might not make complete sense with this one.
One of the misconceptions is that we don't believe in God. That's not true.
That's not true at all.
We do. We also just believe in many. So where certain people say Jesus is the only way, we know other ways.
Mm-hmm. And they work.
And they work.
Yeah.
If you pray, you've conjured. Because you're believing in something that's not there, right? You have to have faith that it's going to work. Mm-hmm. And you're lighting a candle. You have altars in church. Mm-hmm. You have altars when someone dies on the side of the road or gets shot. What do? They bring candles. Mm-hmm. They bring offerings. It's the same thing.